Hello and welcome back to Grumpa's workshop. In this video I'm going to do a quick unveiling of my new traditional stroke hybrid bench. Now, going off 10 years of watching YouTube, I gather I'm supposed to make a huge bench that weighs about 3 tons by gnawing it with my teeth out of a giant hardwood log. Ain't got no time for that, so quick unveiling and then I'll try and justify to you what I've done. Right, let's crack on, shall we? Are we ready? Isn't she lovely? A Sjobergs Nordic Plus. She's small but perfectly formed, just like the missus. I'm in love. I'll go through the specs in a minute, but let's just take a moment to pause. Workshop porn. Lovely. As a quick aside for UK purchasers, there's a full breakdown on the Axminster website along with a video that shows everything basically. And for the avoidance of doubt, the only connection I personally have with Axminster Tools is whenever I shout, "Just take my money" at them, they usually do and I get something nice in exchange. There it is. And if you want to see how the workbench can be put together, Carl from Strawbite Workshop has a video doing just that, way better than I could. The links for both are below. So how did I settle on this particular bench? I had a list of pretty basic requirements. Firstly, it had to be pretty and make me smile every time I walked into the workshop. It had to be fairly small to fit into the single garage, maybe a maximum of 1500 by 600 or 5 foot by 2 foot in old money. I wanted 2 vices preferably, relocatable if possible. I wanted storage under the bench surface to maximise the area in the workshop. It hadn't got to be too expensive, which is difficult, I know, when you're buying a commercial bench. And for these lightweight benches, it had to be good enough for light hand tool work. And of course, see item 1 again, it still had to be pretty. Now in the UK, there seemed to be quite a limited selection of small woodworking benches available within my price bracket. A couple of own brand benches that appeared to be basically the same thing, but the one that did stand out head and shoulders above everything else in terms of recommendations from various forums was the Sjobergs range. Now a lot of these obviously go up to £2,000 or more, but the one that stood out for me within my price bracket was the Nordic Plus, which is basically an upgrade and rebrand of their earlier craft system, the hobby bench. I was particularly pleased that the Nordic Plus does have 4 vice fixing points and 2 vices supplied, and it's fairly quick to shuffle the 2 vices around for left-handed or right-handed use, or to have both on the front. And no, you can't put both vices on one front and corner together, obviously. So there we are. I was looking at the Nordic Plus, and at this stage a Nordic Plus with an underbench storage, and I had 2 options: the basic Nordic Plus and the Nordic Plus Pro. The upgraded Pro having the beech underframe and fancier cupboards. I think they're both very, very pretty, and I'd have gone with the Pro Plus, but it's twice the price of the basic model. So there we go, it's the basic Nordic Plus then for me. All the light hand tool usage and 80% of the appearance, and I still think she's very, very pretty. And assembling the bench was as easy as assembling something from IKEA. I took just a little bit longer than Carl to assemble mine because I blinged up the carcassing with a bit of mahogany stain. And just to confirm the top size, around about 50 centimetres deep and 134 centimetres wide. The jaws can open safely up to about 4.5 inches or 110 mil. Yep, we got that. And 360 mil wide or 14 inches. And in terms of accessories, the bench itself came with 4 of these spring-loaded adjustable bench dogs. And as the whole thing was a complete indulgence for me, I opted for the accessory pack, which included a pair of holdfast clamps, some cork jaws for the vise, and a little mini anvil that attaches to the front of the bench using one of the bench dog holes. And here we see the holdfast clamp. She put in, and it can swivel for holding pieces of work around 360 from any one of the bench dog holes. And then you can also slide it into holes on the front of the bench if ever you're feeling brave and want to hang a door on. I don't think I'll be doing that. And here we see the mini anvil in place on the front of the bench. Very nice, and I'm sure that will come in handy for bending small pieces of metal and brackets, etc. This is the walk that makes me smile every morning from now on. Don't look at the door. There's a new one coming in a container from Santa's workshop in another 2 months, I think. Hello baby, good to see you here. Let's get some work done together. Well, thanks for staying till the end. I'm glad you stayed. There it is. Another, oh hang on. Oh, that's better. You just can't get the help, can you? Well, there we go. Thanks for staying. It's good to share this with you. Another box ticked off on my workshop makeover. A traditional bench, hold that thought, that I'm going to enjoy using. Now I know some smart Alec might put in the comments that yes, Grumpa, but it really isn't up to the job of proper hand tool work. Well, I'm not going to strap a full-size oak door onto the front of it and try to whittle down the edge for a fit. It's only going to be small pieces. The heaviest thing that's likely to go in the jaws of the vise are the ends of small box sections for making handmade dovetails. The top I'll be using, I might do a little light planing on small pieces, and this will form the basis of a hybrid workstation where I put the MFT cutting station on top and flip the two about. Going forward, there's a lot of things I have to learn now. Proper jointing, hand cut dovetails, moving on from very rustic items, doing some small wooden toys and some crafty items for members of the family who want to do decoupage and fancy painting for Christmas and seasonal stuff. And I might do a bit of small music instruments because I'm partial to getting a new cigar box guitar. There we are. As I say, thanks for coming. Like, subscribe. Please get engaged in the comments. I'm always looking for good advice going forward. This makes me smile now. I feel as though I'm making progress, and I hope you will join me. Let's crack on.